Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of Ademola Bookmen Injury Time. I'm joined by my co-host, a man without honour, John Coughlin. Hi, Johnny.
Hi, Al, how are you?
I understand your own family have disowned you due to your antics in this particular podcast, Johnny.
No quarter asked or given.
Your own brother condemned you for your conduct in this particular part of the podcast, Johnny. Am I right there?
Remember that Sopranos episode? Chrissy Moltisanti. My own fucking mother.
Well, you're worse than Christopher Moltisanti, Johnny. Much worse.
Oh, Gerrard has slipped, and Demba Ba is through here for Chelsea. It's Ba, he scores in front of the Kop. Catastrophe for the Liverpool skipper.
Okie dokie. Regular listeners will know that Johnny will go to any lengths to win this, and because of that, Johnny is 3-0 in the lead. Let me give you the premise of a podcast. We choose a category, and then we choose a five-a-side team. And our respective five-a-side teams are matched up, and the score is decided by a supercomputer. The score at the moment is 3 to Johnny and 0 to the knight in white satin armour, me, who's trying to choose the best team for the sake of a podcast rather than Johnny's dastardly ways. Johnny, how you doing? You're looking forward to this week's category. Can you introduce it to us?
Yeah, I feel confident, Al. We are selecting our best teams of players who've played in but never won the English Premier League.
Now then, Johnny, I fear we have to litigate something immediately on the podcast. Just to be clear, can these players still be playing at this point, or is it only retired players?
I shouldn't see why not. I think it's fine.
So we can have any player who has played in the Premier League can appear in our five-a-side.
I'm just trying to think of who it might be, and that will inform my decision. But yeah, I think it's fine. Why not?
All right, then. I mean, that really makes... Go on.
Let me state that if you pick such a player and he goes on to win the Premier League, your victory, if you were to get one, will become null and void.
All right, fair enough. No, all right, I think it's fair to say you're not allowed current Premier League players.
Okay.
Or is there a current Premier League player who has not won the Premier League but you wish to pick, Johnny?
I have one written down. But
oh, no fucking kidding. Yeah. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Look at him, snide dog. Already bending the rules. All right. Okay, fine, Johnny. Okay, fine. I wonder who that is. All right, then. So, as I say, we're all going to select 5 players who have never won the Premier League but have to have played at least one game in the Premier League.
Yes. And then, of course, What?
Okay, I was just looking for your confirmation there, and it was a long time coming, but I'm glad to have got it.
And it will be the supercomputer, of course, that decides the outcome.
Yes, the artificial intelligence. This intelligence is artificial indeed so far.
Okay, are you ready?
Gladiators, ready!
Okay, have you got a coin?
No.
Hey, I do have a coin.
No, I do. I do actually.
All right, lovely stuff.
I think that you're actually 3-0 on the coin toss, by the way, Al.
Winning?
For what it's worth.
Just done me.
Okay, call it in the air.
Tails.
Tails it is.
Never fails. Okay.
It's Vitruvian Man on a €1 coin.
No, that's a head and a tail, isn't it? It's confusing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. So I'm determined to win this time. And I think this is the right pick. Oh. Okie dokie. So the first player in my five-a-side, players who've never won the Premier League, I don't think it's who you think it's going to be. I'm going for Luis Suarez.
Oof.
Yep, Johnny. The racist biter. But you cannot argue with the man. You cannot argue with the man's statistics. This man is Barcelona's all-time second highest goal scorer. This man would be absolutely revered if it wasn't for A, the racism, B, the biting, and C, being overshadowed by Lionel Messi. But what a player he is. Arguably the second best player who ever played in the Premier League after Ronaldo. I'd have him a little bit above Henry. What do you think, Johnny?
Well, he never won it. So is that not a little bit of a mark against his name?
He never won what?
The Premier League that he was so dominant in.
Well, if he had won the Premier League, he wouldn't be able to be in this fucking team, would he, Johnny? You dirty cheat.
Your question was, is he better than Henry? Like, I always thought Suarez was really great. And of course, the racism is very problematic. I don't really care about the biting. And I generally like players who cheat a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Despite all the awfulness, what a player.
Remember, like that kind of thing where he did the dive in front of Moyes.
Yeah, absolute gold.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I love that kind of thing.
He got a hat-trick of hat-tricks against Norwich, which I believe means he gets to keep the team.
Oh, he scored that absolute belter against Norwich as well, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, the one. Oh, in the night of fantasy gold. Oh, man, what a night that will never be forgotten.
Yeah, that was a nice goal.
Triple figure night, that was for me. In those long distant past. Yeah, but seeing as he's still not going, and I know he wasn't the player you perhaps expected, but for me, I think he's the best player who ever played in the Premier League who didn't win it. All right, Johnny.
Okay.
So up front, Luis Suarez. Who are you going for?
I'm going to go for Harry Kane.
Harry, the coward's choice, Kane.
And is this the player that you're asking about who's still playing?
Yeah, the thing is, Johnny, he's a bit shit though, isn't he? Because he's never won the Premier League by your reckoning.
Yep.
Okie dokie. So you've been like this because I was mean to you in the intro. Johnny, I take it all back. Well, Harry Kane, I can't argue with him. The lad scores goals, doesn't he?
I can imagine he'd be good at five-a-side as well.
Yeah, I imagine he'd be competitive wherever he played, and on the golf course, and on having absolutely no charisma at all. I'd have him on my five-a-side for that as well.
Yeah, great lad around the dressing room.
Obviously, it's important that it's great that I scored, but the most important thing is that the team won today. Thank you, Harry. Thank you for that. Yeah, he's a pin-up, isn't he, on the wall of all the teenage girls around the UK. But you can't argue with this football. All right, then, fair enough. Up front, Harry Kane.
Yeah. Just let me say there's quite an array of players who haven't won the Premier League.
Well, you're going to get one right now, Johnny. Former World Player of the Year. I'm going for Luka Modric in midfield. Luka Modric.
Okay, well, I'm going to go one better, I think.
He's doing it, folks. He's going for Maradona. We were waiting for it. Here he goes.
No, I'm going to go for Ruud Gullit.
All right, Ruud Gullit was on my radar. I was going to stick him in defence. Well, you can't argue with old Rudy boy.
No, I don't think he can. Did he win the Ballon d'Or twice? So stick that up your Modric.
Yeah, I think it was fair to say in the late 80s, whilst Maradona was having some downtime, he was literally the best player in the world. I'm pretty sure I remember at the time he was described as the best player in the world. A fact that sort of gets forgotten now. I mean, he's often spoken as, as good as Van Basten, whereas I think at the time he was sort of remembered for being better than Van Basten.
He was also a bit of a comedy manager, wasn't it? It never helps the Well, maybe in England, he's best remembered for his comedy turn as Newcastle and Chelsea coach or whatever.
Yeah, as we spoke about last week, I saw him play. Duncan Ferguson and Alan Shearer up front without wingers at all. It was an interesting tactical choice. He also coined the phrase "sexy football." So.
Yeah, he did. Not quite bounce back ability. It wouldn't make it into the dictionary, but that is definitely a well-used term now, isn't it? Sexy football. Sexy football.
Yeah, no one else ever said it before him. And I'll tell you what team will be playing sexy football, Johnny. My team.
Go on.
Modric and Suarez, whereas yours, rather my prosaic Kane and Hullet. All right, then. Well, I'm going for the obvious answer this time. In midfield, Stevie fucking G. There he goes. What a team this is shaping up to be. Actually, it's shaping up to be the Liverpool 2012-2013 team. I'm going to have my manager as Brendan Rodgers.
It's essentially a collection of Spurs, Liverpool, and Chelsea players on this list.
Yeah, there was always that danger of this happening. But don't worry about that, Johnny. I'm going to diversify after this.
So
I mean, there's not a lot more to say about Gerrard, is there? Like, we all know what he's capable of, both on and off the pitch. Okay, Johnny, so who's your third choice?
Oh, it is hard, isn't it?
I mean, there really is a smorgasbord of quality footballers.
There really is. Just looking at my list here. Yeah, I'm torn between two. So this is the player at their pinnacle, and it doesn't matter how long they were at their pinnacle for.
Oh, I know who this is going to be. Does he like martial arts?
Well, he's one of them.
All right.
The other one likes golf.
I'm not taking the golfing one. He can fuck off. He's not for me. I don't care. I don't care about winning if it means taking him. I don't want him. So who are you going to take?
Oh, God. Yeah, well, now you're getting into my head, you know. Okay, I'll go for Zlatan.
Oh, I fucking steered you towards Zlatan, didn't I? There,
you did.
Like, you're going to take shitty old Bale bollocks.
You did. Thanks.
Yeah, okay. Well, the supercomputer's going to like that, isn't it? Like, who's doing the defending for you? I suppose. All right, fine. Oh, bugger. Oh, I think that swings it. Am I gonna do a full 180 here, Johnny, and be like, can I surprise you? I like Bale. Oh, you see, do you think the supercomputer takes into account defending? Does it, or does it just take the attacking?
Well, just if it helps you, you will recall that I had Faustino Asprilla playing in centre of defence.
All right. Okay, because obviously there's a real big heart pick for me here. And I want to pick him, but I'm sure the old algorithm will use it against. Fuck it, I'm doing it. Stuart fucking Pearce, mate. Stuart Pearce, he got 78 England caps.
Well, you know, he was my next pick.
Oh, was he? I nailed it. Lovely stuff. Okie doke. Well, that would have wounded me as well, Johnny, so well done on not doing. All right, so lovely. Stuart Pearce, yeah, I mean, like, what more can be said? Literally the greatest player who ever walked the earth.
The greatest.
Until Gibbs White was born. Yep, go on.
Is he the best qualified electrician ever at football? Probably.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I haven't got another name to hand, to be honest. You might drop down the leagues and find some other fine sparkies, but in the Premier League, I think that's a safe bet to say.
I think so too. Okay, I'm torn between two players here. Again.
Okie doke.
I'm going to go for Marcel Desailly.
Yeah, he was on my list. Yeah. Well, that's a World Cup winner. Countless titles, I assume, for Milan.
Yeah. See, my team, like, you went for fellas who spent most of their career playing in England and not winning anything. Whereas I went for fellas who briefly played in England and won loads of stuff elsewhere. That was our respective strategies.
I mean, I mean, I'm going to take issue with that summing up there, Johnny. I mean, I have one player who played longer in England. You have Harry Kane, who's the most famous for playing a fucking eternity in England without winning the title. All right, then. So that just leaves a goalkeeper each.
If you choose to pick one,
You've got to pick a goalkeeper, Johnny. If you don't pick a goalkeeper, I am going to log off. You have to pick. You can't just have a. There has to be a goalkeeper.
What did you call that in England? Like a
Rush.
keeper, rush keeper.
Rush goalie.
Would you ever say fly keeper? No,
No.
That's what it is in Ireland. Fly keeper.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, it was always rush goalie. Rush goalie. Oh, here we go.
Okay, go on. Let's hear it. I have a
Some
feeling
goalkeepers were more rush than others, weren't they? Like, get fucking back there. do you think you know? All right, I'm going for 3 Champions Leagues, 4 league titles, 113 caps for Costa Rica. Keylor Navas. Oh, baby. Yes, indeedly. There was a dark one, wasn't it? You weren't expecting him.
No, I wasn't expecting him. No.
It's a good pick, though, isn't it, Johnny? And it's also a Nottingham Forest pick. Like, that was like a weird dream when that happened. Steve Cooper was our manager. We were struggling to stay up. Like, our fantasy signing was Jesse Lingard. And then all of a sudden, up pops who? Who are we going to replace Dean Head? Keylor Navas. It was wild. And he was fucking brilliant. He was flawless for the whole season. So he's my pick.
Okay, well, so in all of the lists, Pepper Reina's name is the one that's there the most, right? But I'm going to go for a different goalkeeper. And in fact, the player that's still playing, I'm not going to pick him, is Emi Martinez. He's a good goalkeeper, but I don't know if he's up to the standard of some of these other fellas. But I'm going to go for, this is going to be controversial, Neville Southall.
No, that's perfectly acceptable, Johnny. Not controversial, and I'm proud of you for not trying to cheat on that pick.
He has won the league.
Oh, I see what he's done there. Well, here you go. Playing up to his heel reputation. Get those crowd booing, Johnny. Like, honestly. All right, Southall. I mean, by that reckoning, I think you could probably get Peter Shilton in there, couldn't you?
Did he play in the Premier League?
I reckon. Ooh, that's a good one. I wonder if he did. I would have said it would be pretty close. Because he played in 1990, right? The Premier League was 1992. Would he have played for... I'm not going to change him anyway because he's a right knobhead, but I'm happy with Navas.
We can't change it anyway. No. He played for 3... He was on the roster, as you might say where you live, Al, on 3 Premier League teams. Wimbledon, Coventry and West Ham, and he played a total of 0 games. In fact, between the years 1994 and 1997, he played for 5 different clubs, making a total of 10 appearances. 9 of them with Leyton Orient in the 3rd division. What was he up to?
Hey,
just a sub?
I guess so. Real gambling addiction at that time, didn't he? I believe he was paying off gambling debts. They really didn't make the money back then, did they? They really didn't make the money back then. How many caps for England, and he still has to fucking whittle out his career at Leyton Orient in the bottom division.
Yeah, Joe Hart is probably living in it's whatever, or Pickford. His house is probably just unbelievable. He could probably have 5 gambling addictions and still be fine.
He probably could. All right then, Johnny. So,
okay, let me fire up the supercomputer.
All right, whilst you're doing that, Johnny, I'll run the listeners through our teams again. So, Team Angel, that's my team. Luis Suarez, Luka Modric.
I'm not going to use that term in case it influences the thinking of the supercomputer.
Okay, so for my team, Luis Suarez, Luka Modric, Steven Gerrard, Stuart Pearce, and Keylor Navas. A bit light attack-wise, but man, what a midfield. Johnny's team is a front 2 of Harry Kane and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Not
big
very
man,
quick,
big man.
are they? Yeah, big man, big man. Non-mobile. And then at the back, well, Hullet and Desai. I mean, that is a rangy team, isn't it? There's a lot of legs in that team. I don't think I can take another loss, Johnny. 4 would be too. I mean, really looking at these sides. Oh, I'm worried.
Okay, here we go, Al.
All right, okay.
Hold on to your Stuart Pearce hat.
I'm breathing deep.
Oh, no!
Oh, hello.
Team Al, 5.
Yes.
Team John, 4.
Ah, there it is. Righteousness wins at last. The good guys prevail.
Well, it's midfield battle is key in this game. Jared and Modric are dream team. And of course, they're just playing against Hullet. But, Desai, he can step into midfield. I was thinking about picking Edgar Davids. He's played in the Premier League.
Ooh, one of my favourites.
I think that's where the game was played out. But both teams boast incredible tackling talent. Suarez is relentless and clinical. Kane is charismatic and formidable.
It certainly is. See, there's your AI for you. Kane is charismatic.
It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that, for God's sake. Okay. Stuart Pearce is a total passenger throughout the entire game.
I'll come over there and slap you. How dare you?
Stuart Pearce
With that man, that man is recuperating right now from an incident. Did you hear about that? He was I think he had a little heart attack in a plane.
Oh golly,
flying back from that. Yeah. He's in Canada recovering right now. So,
does he live in Canada?
No. He was flying back from Vegas. Lovely old life these lads have, and he had a little incident in a plane.
Stuart Pearce is a no nonsense defender who will throw himself into every challenge. Keylor Navas is an agile and acrobatic keeper. This is all fucking rubbish.
No, this is true.
Set piece threat. Jared and Modric are dangerous from free kicks. Hullet and Ibrahimovic are aerial threats. This is fucking 5-side. You should have made that quite clear.
Yeah, Desai is getting down the wing, like bombing in the ammunition for Big Kane to hammer home.
Your goals came from a thunderous strike from Gerrard. Ibrahimovic equalised with a piece of magic. Modric plays a perfectly weighted pass to Suarez, who finishes coolly. Then he goes 2-all. Harry Kane taps in from close range after a clever pass from Hullet. Jesus, it goes 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. Pearce scores directly from a free kick.
You bet he does.
Smashing the ball into the top corner. Zlatan scores a header. Suarez, then Hullet, and then Gerrard. Not slipping on this occasion.
Well, I think I've displayed a deep understanding of a game, Johnny, one that you possibly can't ever reach. And at last, this has been exemplified by the supercomputer.
Well, just a few quick names of players. Tell me if you would have put any of these in my team, okay? Other players who have not won the Premier League. Pepe Reina, Hugo Lloris, World Cup winner. Shea Given, Emi Martinez, also a World Cup winner. Ledley King, Jamie Carragher. Is Jamie Carragher overrated, or is it just me? He was like on all these lists, really near the top.
I think, it's more just associated with that Liverpool side rather than being... I mean, how many England caps did he have? Like 30, 40? He wasn't as good as Ledley King, for example, I think, and I think he'd probably accept that.
Yeah. Sami Hupia, Paul McGrath. Midfielders, Xabi Alonso, Edgar Davids, Bale Gaza, Shevchenko, and Zola.
Oh, yeah. I think of all of them, you talk about overrated players. Old Zola, he's the one.
I think so.
I mean, like, a beautiful player to watch. But really, look at his goal scoring record. Not that much. He's like a 10, 12, 15 a goal season striker.
Yeah. He was just likeable. And he played a particular type of football that is likeable.
Well, that's it. And a type of football that wasn't much played in the Premier League at that time.
Remember
now,
that
what
goal
was
from
he?
the corner? That was a nice one, wasn't it?
Well, now we see those every fucking 10 minutes, don't we, nowadays? Like these little
Every 10
flicks.
minutes.
Taiwo Awoniyi tried one the other day, but he hit his standing foot, so it didn't look as good.
Well, yeah. Would you have put any of those in my team?
I mean, the one that was painful for me to leave out was Gaza. I really wanted to get Gaza in there. He deserves recognition, but you can't put him in front of Luka Modric, can you? You just can't.
Yeah, I worry about the effect he'd have on the other players as well, you know?
Yeah, the super computer at that. Alistair's team won 3-0 by default. The other team didn't turn up. They were drunk in a pub in a provincial town in the UK.
I would say I was going to take Pierce, and he's a goal threat in a way that Sam McGrath wasn't, but I'd say McGrath was better, was he? Was a better player, was he?
No, he categorically was not, John. No, he wasn't a better player.
He was. Of course he was.
I don't think he was. No, I mean, Stuart Pearce, I think, was arguably the best left back in the world. Have it out with Paolo Maldini. But I think certainly late 80s, early 90s, Stuart Pearce was one of the top 2 left backs in the world. And I don't think Paul McGrath was ever one of the top 2 centre backs in the world.
Anyway, okay, Al, congratulations. I went a bit soft on you this week. I was feeling bad for you.
Well, don't feel bad for me, Johnny. Don't feel bad for me at all, because the listeners know who the real champion is here, and it's always been me. Despite what the AI says, sorry, I get very bombastic about this. I wrote an introduction today, which is just slagging you off for like 5 minutes. I don't mean it. I just picked Maradona a bit sneakily.
I'd like to hear some suggestions from listeners if there are particular 5-a-sides you'd like us to do. It's a whole pint of fun doing them. So yeah, please do send us any suggestions via email ademolabookmen@gmail.com or on Blue Sky or Instagram, where we can be found.
All right. Well, thanks again, Johnny.
Yeah, thanks, Al, and thanks to Dara for providing the music for this podcast also.
Again, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.